Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be talking about something that teachers ignore all the time. Why do I gotta be at school? So, hey Dan, welcome to the show here too. And yeah, it was one of these things that I was thinking about the difference between teaching someone how to fly and your regular schooling that you get, say up to the end of high school. And it's a little bit different. And I was trying to think like there's like okay, I would never ever in a million years want to be a grade school or elementary school teacher or a high school teacher. Forget it. But I really enjoy teaching people how to fly. What's the difference? Why would I like one and not the other? And hey, Mr. Johnson, welcome to the show here too. And I was trying to think, what is it that makes it that, like, I mean, I personally hated school. It's like up until high school, school sucks. I hated it. I mean, it was cool hanging out with your friends or hanging out and playing cards in the lunchroom or something like that. But actually going to school every day, that sucked. At least that's what I thought. Until I got like out of high school and then you kind of liked it a little bit more. Why was that? And I think it was because I didn't like being forced to go to school when I was younger. And hey, Pyramid 7, so, I mean, like, it's the law. Okay, you don't want your population to be like illiterate and stuff like that. But the idea of like, cops enforcing the law, someone with a gun like making you go to school, that's like jail, man. But it's funny enough that school does kind of prepare you for jail, and it prepared me nicely for working in a machine shop. I did that for many years because there's certain power hierarchies that develop, and you can't look like a wimp or you're going to get picked on or beaten up or anything like that. So in a way, I mean, regular school is good president training and good workplace training for that. But so I didn't like it too much, but I really enjoy like teaching people, and like when it's voluntary, when you actually want to learn something on your own, like whether it's on a YouTube channel or anything like that. Like, that's not so bad. It's a choice, and you can walk away if you need to. So I kind of enjoyed that freedom a lot better, and there we go. Cool. And oh, hey, Wrench. Yeah. So I was like, and then I was thinking too about okay, well, the way that I teach, I never actually went to like teachers college or anything like that. But I mean, there is a certain amount of training that you have to do to become a flight instructor to teach someone how to fly an airplane and or teach them how to be instructors themselves. So it's like um yeah, like it's kind of a weird thing to think about. Oh, like why is it so different? And I was thinking about it yesterday that I think the main thing is that the way that the lesson plans are devised for us as flight instructors is that there's a definite motivation, a real answer to the question of like, okay, why do I have to know this? Okay, like for example, well, and the funny thing about learning how to fly too. Oh, hey Jim, is that like just about everything, like it's real easy to take it seriously because like all the stuff you learn, all these little lessons and flight maneuvers and things you learn in ground school, like that all is necessary knowledge to know because like there's been an accident and probably a fatality associated with it. So the motivation is pretty high to like you don't have to ask, oh, why do I have to watch my airspeed when I'm coming into land? Well, because you kind of crash and burn, die, passengers croak. Like, okay, oh, that's important. Maybe I'll learn that, But the thing is, like, when you go to, grade school, high school, like, okay, why do I have to learn my alphabet? Just learn it. Why do I have to learn math? You have to know it. Why? You can't, go to the principal's office. You're asking too many questions. All right. See ya. But, it's just like, I think now I was kind of looking into it that like everybody's all different, the way that they react to authority. And so if you're going into jail, school, whatever you want to call it, is that some people just naturally they do what they're told, and they don't feel bad about it, and they have no I don't know, like it's just fine. Oh well, this person's the person in authority, so I just do what they say. That's the way it is. And they're all happy and they don't question it, and that's just the way it goes. So I was thinking about the Stanley Milgram experiments, like because we studied that when I was going for my psychology degree, and it's a pretty popular experiment where it was like this dude Stanley Milgram was a psychologist at Yale, and he did this experiment where some guy is standing in a lab coat and he's telling people, okay, here's this little shock machine, give these people a shock of voltage, and the maximum. I was just checked on it, just jogged my memory quickly on this on Wikipedia before getting on here. So the maximum voltage, supposedly, they didn't actually do it, but supposedly this person was administering all the way up to 450 volts, which will kill you. And then people are even screaming and going, no, no, I don't want to do this. And then sometimes they would just like keep administering it, and like there's no response from the person they're supposedly shocking. So like they could be dead. And then people are just like, yep, okay, let's kill the guy. And people are quite happy killing people. So that's weird. And they found that 65% of the people in that experiment were quite willing to give the maximum voltage that could possibly kill someone. So that tells me, okay, 65% of the people out there, and it's that they haven't actually replicated. I was wanted to see if that was an experiment that they've replicated from different cultures to ages, sexes, like do it South America, Africa, Asia, would everyone do it all about the same? Maybe there's cultural power differences or something like that would make a difference. But it would be yeah, like kind of unethical to do that, because people apparently like they did some toned down experiments like that, because like it's unethical to put someone through that type of trauma where they later on they realized I could have, like, I was doing what the guy said, but that was fake, and did I kill that guy? Like it's kind of shocking for you, right? So so anyways, okay. Yeah, so 65%, that's in my experience as being I don't know, older guy in his 50s, that yeah, pretty much 65% of the people just do whatever they're told. It's like, okay, study the math. Okay, I'll study the math. Study write a paper on right in history class. Okay, write a paper about how the French came to Quebec and how they hung out with the Indians. All right, I'll do that. And then whereas, okay, 65% of the class, no problem. There we go. But I'm thinking like the teachers could probably increase their engagement with the students a little bit better if they told them why they should learn this stuff. Like, oh, why should I learn how to do Cartesian coordinates on this graph? Well, because if you're a machinist, you need that. If you're an engineer, you need to know that stuff. If you're plotting out using a 3D printer and you're going to be making a dress and you're going to be cutting the dress, you're going to need these Cartesian XY coordinates for that. And then maybe somebody would be like, oh, I just want to make dresses. I don't like math. Oh, wait, I have to know this stuff so I can be a better dressmaker. Maybe I'll pay attention here. So it's like, or, I might want to mess around with a 3D printer and print up an illegal plastic gun or something. I don't know, just for fun. I don't know if those are legal anywhere. It's from what I've seen, they don't shoot very well. But anyways, so talking about illegal guns on the superpilotish channel. I don't know. Okay, like maybe not 3D printing a nice fake flower vase for your mom for her birthday or something. So, like, okay, learning this math would help you do this, and oh, I better pay attention. And so, for the 65% of the people that just do whatever they're told, regardless, now you got the 35% of the people left over that they're sitting there going like, I'll go through the motions. I'll do this stuff for the test. I hate it. This sucks. Hope I don't get beat up at recess. Like stuff like that. And then, but if you kind of tell them why, you might get of that 35%. And if you could do this across the board with all the different classes that you take in elementary school and high school, you could probably get a lot better performance numbers on standard testing or anything like that. Or you might actually get a kid that learns something. Woo, that'd be cool. And that normally wouldn't. Isn't that kind of like a teacher job? So, and I don't know. It's just like no one cares except for the superpilotish channel. I care about that stuff. And I just think, I don't know why they don't tell you. I was never told why I have to learn anything. They just go, okay, you're this age, you passed last year, you're in this grade, learn this stuff. All right, thanks. Okay. All right. So, and yeah, so there's another thing there, not just, um, okay, I'll kind of review here, like the way that you teach somebody some sort of a lesson when you're teaching them anything, how to fly. Okay. And I've gone over this before, but we'll go over it again. So it's kind of like, all right, hey, what am I learning today? Okay, I'm doing some math stuff or doing whatever. And then the very first, the next thing there is why. There we go. The number two thing that you say is like, actually, other than just the title of what you're teaching, the most important thing when you're teaching someone something how to fly or some aspect of learning how to fly is like, why do you got to know this? And if you motivate them to know, yes, I have to know this so that I don't run out of gas and I got to go to a different airport and I can't make it to my destination on time. So more efficient flying, maybe. But there's another thing here that it's kind of like I don't know, like a little secret or something like that. It's not really in any official Transport Canada publications or anything here. And I never knew about it until I don't know, don't know where it comes from. So there's this thing that they call a link. So why do I have to know this stuff? And what they call the link is like, okay, you could see like generally, why do I want to know this? So that one day, I don't have to go to another airport because I'm running out of gas. But the link would be, okay, now and you try to make it kind of personal and specific to that student and unique to that student. Why would you want to know how to do this thing with the plane to get better fuel consumption numbers? Then you could say, I don't know, maybe the person is a truck driver. And then so you'd be like, okay, if you learn this, you might be able to stretch out your, if you're an owner operator of a transport, well, if you use a little bit of this knowledge, you could probably save yourself another mile per gallon, possibly. And that's going to add up to a whole lot of money in your pocket, and you can buy more flying lessons. Something that's really particular to that kind of person. And that would be the link. So that'd be hard to do in a class with multiple people, but you could even throw, and the thing is, like, if you're a teacher, you could identify, okay, these are all the yes men, so I don't need anything to do the link on that. But my 35% of the class that hates my guts, doesn't want to be here, if I do that to them, I got their attention now, and maybe they're not running around the classroom like they normally do and texting people and being rotten kids. but anyways, who knows? That could put some butts in the seats. So that the idea of something personal to somebody that maybe isn't too interested, and that'll pique their interest and get them motivated. And then you get into the lesson of how do you do it? And then so you go and you do your lesson, and then there would be usually like in and no matter what in aviation, you always got to mention safety for specific safety concerns for that lesson. So that's maybe not such a big deal with if you're teaching someone a history class or something, but if you teach in a shop class, auto shop, what are we doing here? We're going to be putting a spare tire on a car, or okay, why do we want to do that? Because you will, if you have a car, you will get a flat tire at some point. And the thing is, the link, how do you make it personal to the guy there? It's like, if you don't know how to fix a tire, she's going to leave you and go find a guy that can't fix a tire. And you want that chick or something. How do you do it? There you go. You teach them how to change the tire, put the spare tire on. Safety, okay, make sure that you jack up the car and it's nice and flat. You can put some rocks or something so it doesn't the wheels don't move, whatever safety stuff there. Yeah, be careful that the things don't slip and you bang your knuckles or something like that. So there we go. It could be, that's kind of more of a practical thing, but I mean, if you're creative enough, you can figure out how to incorporate, why do you have to do this? Why, and it just blows my mind with thinking about that the other day, that like there was no teacher that ever told me ever why I have to learn any of this garbage. Oh well, guess they thought it was one of the 65%. Wrong. Still turned out okay though. And okay, what else we got here? Oh yeah, I'm just kind of doing yeah, so that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today, really, was that, hey, if you are a teacher out there, you have to and you got to remember too that the type of person that becomes a teacher in grade school or high school, they're part of that 65% that does whatever they're told. There's no rebels that, like rebel without a cause. They're like becoming a teacher. Yeah. They're just like, I love school. I like doing what I'm told. I get 90s and 80s and I get A pluses and 4.0 grade point averages because I do what I'm told. Everyone is like me. And then I can be a teacher and I can tell other people how to do things. And I like to tell people how to do things because they're smart like me. I don't know. I don't know what teachers look like. I shouldn't be making fun of them. But I'm not. It's just, I don't know. Teachers are kind of weird cats. And they get on some kind of weird power trippy kind of stuff sometimes too. Just get used to bossing people around all day. So I don't know. That's not really how I roll. So I could never do that job. Wouldn't want to. Not with kids these days, I tell you. But yeah, so there we go. I'll just go through the comments here and we'll see if there is any questions or anything like that. I just figured I'd complain about kids these days. That's what us old guys do, right? So here we go. Any big things? Yeah, so here we go. And I knew Wrench was going to say something here too, so I'm glad you piped in. Yeah, so Wrench, if you ever check out Wrench's YouTube channel, you'll see that he's got he kind of, as he says, he mentors high school kids in robotics, and they actually have these really cool robotic competitions. I've checked out. I subscribe to Wrench's channel there because it's amazing to me to see that like high school kids get involved in this, and it's like it's pretty cool watching them. Just getting these robots to like throw balls into nets and navigate little obstacles and stuff like that. So, and Wrench is saying there that they self-select, so he only gets the kids that want to be there. All the difference. Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure Wrench would agree that if you force some girl, all she wants to do is become a fashion designer, and you force her into like the robotics club, how well is she going to do? Is she going to like it? No, but probably not. You never know, but probably not. unless the robots make dresses, and that's going to be kind of more of a thing where technology and fashion are going to come together. Computer aided design for fashion, I bet you that's already there. And you can actually, you know what? I remember there was years ago. If you've ever heard of Joe Rocket motorcycle gear, Joe Rocket, that whole company started up here in Windsor, and what was his name? Dave Williams started it up. He had a Honda dealership, and one thing led to another. And anyways, he got in and started up Joe Rocket. And I met a few guys that worked there here, and it was just like a little store with I don't know, about 6 guys were working there. And they would what they would do is they would design the Joe Rocket motorcycle gear, with all the Kevlar and padding and armor and stuff like that. And they would just send the file over to China, and it would get made in China, and they just ship it right back. So they never even manufactured it here. They just did it on their computer, and it got shipped a little bit later, and then they would field test it and see if anyone liked the Joe Rocket stuff. And then Joe Rocket got bigger and bigger and bigger. So now it's sponsoring motorcycle racers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, so there you go. And that was years ago that happened. That was probably the guys I met that did that. That was probably 20 years ago. So I'm sure there's all kinds of there's probably all kinds of girls out there designing stuff on computers and getting it made in China, I guess. But okay, what do we got here? What else we got here? Lots of comments. I like it when you guys kind of chat with each other too. That's pretty cool. And good old Nefarious Johnson was also never great at the "because I said so" thing. I hate it because I said so. It's like, what? You can't think of a good idea? Like, can you imagine that? Like, oh well, I'm just not the type of person that does like. If you're gonna have a rule for me, you better have like a good reason for it. And a lot of times I hate the reason, but I'll accept it. I don't like being told what to do, but if it makes sense, I hate it when other people are right, but I have to admit that they're right. And so that's kind of that's kind of me. But anyways, yeah, so that's about it. Do a little review here, I guess. All right, teachers, all you 65% of teachers that just boss people around and do what you're told and all that stuff. You want to here's the reason why you should take my advice, to tell people why they have to learn this stuff, is because what am I teaching you? I am teaching you to motivate your students a little bit better. Why? You're going to do that so that you can have your standard testing numbers for your class go up better. And the link to that is because when you want to really suck up to that school board and get it to become a superintendent, you'll be able to look back at those numbers that you presented to them. How do you do that? Okay, teachers, you get creative, identify the 35% of the class that just doesn't do whatever they're told, and target them to get them motivated and give them good concrete examples why they should learn this stuff. And safety, well, if you have the kids sitting in their seats, they're not gonna gank you. So anyways, there we go. There's really no downside to that at all, I don't think. So anyways, there we go. There's a little review, and feel free to send this to the teachers. And I would love to get some real nasty responses to this. This would be so cool. I'm a teacher. I love kids. I'd love to see that. That'd be neat. It means someone's actually watching me besides you guys. But anyways, cool. And yeah, that's about it. So today is Wednesday. Not going flying today. It's a little too ceiling's a bit low and a little bit windy. But yeah, so Wednesday I'll be back on Friday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. I'll just kind of shut her down. And thanks for watching. Bye.